La 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 la. And well, for a while, don't try to make life on your own. Remember that Jah just by your side. For I was a soul who was lost, and my life was in dismay. For among evil forces in which I played, guns and ammunition were my chosen way of life. With God-fearing people I chose to strive for all the lives that I've taken. They can never be replaced. But still Jah chose to remember my name. I never lived like he wanted. I was mindful of what he taught me. So I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees. Cause Father, you rescued me. I've got the scars to show. I nearly made it to long life road. Cause when man had that dog, he was the only spark. He was the life at the end of the road. When I was a young boy, growing up in August. Shout outs to Duane. What is his name? I forgot it, man. Duane Stephenson. From Ghana to Canada, from Rockers to Jungle to Tire, Crazy to Dreadites and River all around. And when the football ground became a battlefield, and my life seemed so surreal. Ooh, people were falling all around. But Jah helped me to stand my ground. Only Jah would have helped me to stand my ground. Though I never lived like he wanted, I was mindful of what he taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees. Cause Father, you rescued me. And I've got the scars to show. I nearly made it to long life road. Cause when my heart got dark, he was the only spark, the light at the end of the road. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Uncensored Friday Live with Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana. Nana Obonku Menkuma Bediako Nana-Poku Hitzfield, man. The Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana, man. And today, I'm here for Africa. Today, I'm here for the youth of Africa. And today, we need to talk about Africa. We need to talk about Mother Ghana and how the people in this great continent can move this continent into a new age full of abundance. Because the God we serve in our churches, the God we serve in our mosque, he is an abundant God. And we as children of God, we need to live in abundance. But then there are systems, there are teachings that is dividing us for us to get to that goal. So today, welcome to Uncensored Friday Live with Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana. Share this video, let it get to every African. Basically, let it get to every human being. You know, sometimes people don't think about certain things until you put it in front of them. So today on Uncensored Friday, I'll tell you a little bit about my life. You know, I will also tell you, we will have a discussion. We will basically have a discussion on Africa and the youth in Africa, the men in Africa. What can we do to change the narrative? What can we do as black people across the world to change the perception in the world? So today, it is an action-packed show, and I hope that you guys will love it a lot, man. Because last week, I was in my hometown for the first time. I wanted to show you how the land is being degraded But then I thought of it and I'm like, this is my own hometown. I need to make things better. So one day I will show you where it was and where we are. So hopefully one day I can show you pictures of what I uncovered last week. I remember I showed you things, and I don't want to show you that thing again. I want to fix things. I want to change the narrative of the black man, and we are coming, man. The world will become a better place because God keeps sending people like myself. I know I'm not the only person that thinks like this, that want to change something, that has the authority and power to change something. So I want to show the black man that it is possible to think differently and live in abundance, rather than to think selfishly and live in poverty. When you know the law of attraction, what you imagine is what you attract, right? So if you imagine poverty, you always be in the need of money, right? And I think so many people have mastered this technique around the world, but unfortunately Africans are the last people to realize this. And it is because we've left things that were taught to us by our forefathers and we took another culture. Now today is 10th February. We are in the month of love. February is a month of love, and as somebody who loves the Archangel Chimwo, I am God's love. I have so much love in my heart. So I'm sending love to every African, to every black man, to every human being across the world. Let love lead us. Love is all you need on this earth. Love. Just love one another, and you will realize that everything else will fall into place. Everything else, basically, that is what it is. So let us talk about Africa. Now, in 1855, as I said today, let us take this day as a conference for Africa. Let the show be a show where every African, I wish, and I'm praying to my forefathers, that this show goes where it is supposed to go. So that the African, the young African, the present African, can envision something better for the future. So the topic of the show today is the African man, the present, and the future. Now, in 1855, in a conference in Berlin, King Leopold II, who was the king of Belgium, had a conference, right? And during this conference, Africa was being divided amongst the Europeans. Now, they realized that they were fighting amongst themselves over Africa. So, those people back then in 1855 sat down to have a honest conversations among themselves and decided, why are we fighting against ourselves if we are fighting against ourselves over other people, right? So King Leopold and the rest of the people, the countries that were present, divided Africa amongst themselves. Of course, Belgium taking Congo because of the robber, because of the robber in Congo. Okay, so what was I saying? Because of the robber in Congo. So, if I look at Africa right now, we are in 2023, 10th February 2023. If Europeans sat down in 1855 to have an honest discussion amongst themselves as to why are they fighting amongst themselves if they are one people over the slaves, why can't we have the same conversation today, 10th February 2023? The African man, ask yourself, why does Africa has borders? Why isn't Africa borderless? Now, Wodemaya, shout outs to Wodemaya, much love, my guy. Much love to you, what you are doing, showing and changing the narrative of Africans across the diaspora, black people across the diaspora. Because so many things have been written about us. But then, whatever the world has comes from Africa. Our gold, our timber, our natural resources are being driven minute in, minute out of our ports to the rest of the world. And nobody is thinking about the slavery aspect of this. Why should I even sell my gold to you if I can give the gold to my children? Why should I sell my timbers to you when my children don't have desks to sit on in schools? Now, there are 51, there are 51 countries or 44 European countries from the European Union. And they sat down in 1855 to discuss how to divide Africa. So the division in Africa right now was because of our slave masters who divided Africa so that they won't fight over themselves. So why are we having borders? Africa should be united. If Africa doesn't realize that we are one people and we need to unite, then the Osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumahs of our time, the Nelson Mandelas, the great African leaders who fought to get us where we are now, all their jobs, all their sweat, all the blood that was shed in vain. So the African man today, what do you want for the future? Now in West Africa, there are 17 countries in West Africa, 54 countries in Africa as a whole. 54 countries in Africa. And I'm looking at opportunities. I'm looking at natural resources. I'm looking at a way where if I look at countries like Qatar, Dubai, who these people live with all due respect on a desert. Look at what they've done with their countries. They have collated and united to form the United Arab Emirates. Africa. In 2023, we still have borders amongst ourselves. Wodemaya did a show on it where Ghana and Togo, we have border there. And the border is like, come on, black man. It is about time we change the narrative, and it is about time you and I have a honest conversation among ourselves. Let us sit down like today. Let us discuss what will move Africa forward. Now, when I was very, very young, at a very young age, I've said it so many times here, that I was born into Jehovah's Witnesses. I was 3 years when I did my first assignment at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witness. And I did the assignment in front of a packed audience. Now, my dad had schooled me and everything, so I knew what I would say. I was even like, I was reciting the whole sermon. That was how prepared my dad was for that assignment. Now, after that assignment, everything else started going south because I began to stammer chronically. Like, I used to stammer. I was stuttering all the time. And my self-confidence had to go down so much that I would go to school and a question will be asked. I know the answer, but the fact that I will stand up and probably stutter and my classmates will laugh at me, I would rather sit down and then I will be caned as usual in the olden days, right? And my self-confidence went down and down and down. Because at that age of 3, if you can stand in front of a packed congregation and talk about God like that, then the forces in this world will try to prevent you from speaking. So now that I've grown, I've understood all these things, and now I can speak without stuttering. Although when I get angry, sometimes I stutter. But this is it. I've realized when you have so much to say in this world, they give you a speech impediment in a way so that you can't express yourself that much, right? I'm sweating already, right? So after that age, I did my my assignments and everything else went out, and life became very, very difficult from that moment on. Man, my parents broke up after that. So I was raised with either my dad for some time, my mom. So I'll be going here and there. So when I see people who talk about broken homes being the main reason why they didn't achieve their goals in life, I look at my own story and I'm like, I had maybe a worse scenario than yours, man. Now let me tell you about another thing that happened along my journey to become the ordained crown prince of Ghana. Now, growing up, my mom had a bar, so I thank God I was a bartender at that young age. Now, being a bartender, you automatically become a counselor, you automatically become a judge. Sometimes, although you are very, very, very young, you need to become somebody's comforter. You need to have a good listening ear to become a good bartender. And all these skills I acquired while standing at my mom's bar has helped me in so many ways now. I hope you understand what I mean. As I said, I became a counselor. Somebody will come and will be drinking, and although you are young, the person will be telling you about his marital problems. Sometimes people will be fighting about something, and you will be the judge to tell them, okay, this person is right, this person is wrong. Sometimes you need to console somebody because somebody has been sacked from work and just came to the bar to drink. And that person tells you his or her story, and then you need to look the person in the eye and say something comforting to that person's soul. So at that young age, I had the privilege of tending to a bar, and I'm so happy I did because it gave me the skills to be able to understand people in a wider perspective, not an enclosed mind, and in an enlightened way. So now I'm a computer scientist. I went on to study computer science. I'm a historian. I'm a chef. I'm a philosopher. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a counselor. I'm a football coach. I'm a content creator. I'm an architect. I'm virtually everything because it made me love life. I kept learning and learning and learning just because there was a phrase I heard and that fucked me up. This is Uncensored Friday. I can say the fuck that I want, man. Fuck is a word. If you think I'm not going to heaven or wherever you think we go when we die because I said fuck, get the fuck out of here. I'm the ordained crown prince and I've been saying fuck for years and nobody has. God loves me the way I am. So if you don't want to use certain words, it is up to you. Get the fuck out of my face, man. Okay, so I'm an architect who has specialized in building log cabin homes with that rustic look with contemporary touches, and it's something that I am doing. As I said last week, I was in my hometown and I want to make the place a paradise, man. I want to make the place a paradise. I want people to travel all across the world to just come to where the ordained crown prince lives, man. I want it to be so beautiful. I want the place to look so beautiful that people will understand me when I tell them that when we use the Pan-African system, the same system that was started by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the same man that gained independence for people around the world, for black people around the world, to realize that when we do things in unison, we achieve a common aim. And when the black men of this world come together to form an alliance, an alliance that will be devoid of greed, selfishness, an alliance that promotes unity, an alliance that doesn't distinguish between jobs as a cleaner is or a doctor is more important than a cleaner. No, those are the systems that divide us. Democracy. Look at the MPP and the NDC in Ghana. Look at the discontinuity of events. We don't have long-term plans. Look at our education. And these are the things that we need to get rid of in our society. So under the new governance, the Pan-African system, we will put our religion into a box. We will put our tribes into a box. We will put the things that divide us into a box. And we are going to think about the things that unite us more. The new African, the present African, knows that there is more to life than the social media stuff. There is more to life than the systems that has been imposed on us. And as the ordained Crown Prince of Ghana, these are the systems I'm teaching my people around the world. I'm teaching, and thank God the places and the people I'm meeting. It is all God. It means that people understand what I'm saying. People appreciate the fact that somebody has even come out to tell it as it is. African man, the present and the future. What do you want to do in the next 10 years? What do you want to do in the next 10 years? So if you're an African, you're a Ghanaian, wherever you find yourself on this beautiful continent, the Pan-African system is a system that will derail all divisions. That will set long-term goals, and everybody else will follow those goals. Just like Muhammad Gaddafi wanted to start. Now we know the conspiracy theories with regards to Gaddafi. As soon as he decided to make his currency a gold dinar, the world just didn't want to see the man blossoming. Because what he had done with Libya, if Africa had followed in the footsteps of Muhammad Gaddafi, come on, we would have been better than Qatar right now. We would have been better than Dubai right now. But then the forces and our slave masters who act as if Ghana is independent, who act as if Nigeria is independent, but yet impose systems that benefit them. %90 of our crude oil is owned by foreign companies that are based in England. And I ask, are we really independent? We should have our own system of governance. People practice socialism around the world, monarchy, and I feel we should go back to our roots and crown a king in Ghana. As the ordained crown prince, one of the things I'm championing is we need to crown a king in Ghana. A king that will look after our resources. Because if a king gives you money to go and construct road, I don't think you will go and do it anyhow and just walk off and go scot-free. Financial loss to the state. President John Dramani Mahama built houses at Seglema. I hope I mentioned it right. The new government came in, they've not touched it. Meanwhile, there are Ghanaians who sleep outside. There are homeless people in Ghana. Yet houses are being built and it has been left to rot in the bushes, in the forest. Why should a black man allow a system to divide him so much that he forgets that the person standing right in front of him is his brother, is her sister? The African, the present and the future. What are the long-term goals for Africa? As I said, if in 1855, a group of people sat down to have a discussion, today, 10th February 2023, I'm having a discussion with my fellow Africans, with my fellow Ghanaians. It is about time. Let us model our way of governance like the Qataris, like the Dubai, because democracy does nothing but give encouragement for foreigners to loot our resources. We need to change the narrative, and we need Africa to be borderless. A borderless Africa will be a stronger Africa. A borderless Africa will be a united Africa. The divisions, religion, our tribe, the battle between young people and old people. Young people should know that experience is the best teacher. Yet old people should also remember that as the world goes into a new age, the new generation is much smarter than the old generation. So there should be a blend of the old and the youth in decision making. And those are the systems we are going to implement under the Pan-African system. The same system that I have keys to. The same system that has been given to me willingly by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. An unsolicited way of giving me such knowledge to better the lives of Africans, to better the lives of my fellow Ghanaians. So we need to have a honest conversation amongst ourselves. And it's about time we leave a legacy for the next generation of Ghanaians, the next generation of Ugandans, the next generation of South Africans, Egyptians, Somalians, Mauritanians, Togolese, Africa is coming of age. Africa is there on the higher echelons now in terms of enlightenment, in terms of vision. And it's about time we put everything that divides us somewhere else and concentrate on building our continent to become what it is supposed to be. If civilization began in Africa, in Egypt, why are we the last people to arrive to the party? But I look at this arrival late as an opportunity. I see it as a privilege because now Africa is a blank canvas. And as an architect, when I look at Africa now, we have things to look at. We have Dubai to look at. We have Qatar to look at. We have Switzerland to look at. We have so many places to look at because we came to the party last. Now we have the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages in certain things. And we need to build our continent for the next generation of children that are born into this beautiful land. My name is Hitzfield, Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana. I've got Africa here. I've got Africa all around my wrist. Thank you for making time. We need to have more conversations like this if we will go forward as a continent. And if you are a log cabin home builder, if you are an expert in furniture making, contact me because we are about to build the biggest furniture shop in the whole Africa. Yes, the biggest furniture shop. Man, we are going to put value on our own natural resources so that we get a benefit, so that it benefits the people in the society, not the other way around. Let's stop selling our gold. I've been saying this for long. If you put gold in a room for 1,000 years and you put $10 million bills for 1,000 years and come back or leave it as a treasure, by 1,000 years, all that paper will be gone and gone forever. I don't think you can even use one of the paper after 1,000 years. The money, the same thing we are exchanging our gold for. It doesn't work like that under a crown prince. And it won't work like that under the crown in Ghana. So, Otumfuo Tutu the second, the king of Asante. Now, the last time I was traveling, I passed through the Menchia Palace. It was in the evening. Of course, I would love to meet the Ashanti king one day. He is my father. I am an Ashanti. I am an Asante. We need to change that Ashanti. Yeah, Asante for yeah, Ashanti for. Akwesi broni yeah, friend akwesi broni. Now so who call ni kroma on friend who akwesi broni. Inti say na broni frey no. Enye sa na yen e wasa ye frey yen ho. We need to start changing our educational system. I don't understand why we should teach our children English in our schools. English should be a language. English, Spanish, French. We will have a school for it. School of languages. But no. This thing we need to stop. I was saying you jai say yankura ye de obi chrome kasa and na air chere no ade. Would you obi chrome kasa na air chere no ade? Inti ye be de no nyi a on person obekọ nipa ni chrome. Would you obi chrome kasa na air chere wo ba de? Se no nipa adwene mpo no. Ye hu obi se nipa na ka brofo no wo nyansa. Maame papa ye we jimi fo mo ka brofo. Ye wasabe womo a womu nim hwe na so brofo no tekeke enu nkyire nyansa enu nkyire humu inti yenya se obi ka brofo a na kyere se ono de memeti we meka kasa be se 5 meka Portuguese meka Spanish meka English meka Deutsch inti meka Igbe meka Nkran ena meka twi ni mumpo no me ya santini na so hwe twi ni mu akoye bibie wo ho. Because you be chrome kasa na achire me ade minim emwa bi din e wo brofum na so bisa me twi am ntumi nka aden hefa na ye ko ise ye ayen culture ye to no ajeje mu say ya Otumfuo daddy I was say yes son narrative no ye ma Asante sorry to send ya na tie no Asante en sorry na onje Ghana enfri ahohiahia yi mu. And I'm on a quest to meet all the paramount chiefs in my country. We need to think about Ghana. Send your beya NDC ni MPP na etete yentem no. Nini na true betwa. Because NDC ni MPP no the air ni say boa brofo no e ma ye niama no e na omo sesako. Nti obi ba be ye election a foreign investors ya be invest in campaign ni mu. Oba to me no maba sana akoye besi nne a nne 10% na aka no so na ye pre ho eno so na ye be wie sika no na ye de akose foreign account inti Ghana oil no Ghana natural resources no basically no bibia ko broni ho because onu nya 90% first place no onya 90% 10% no so na ye pre ho okay ye pre ho no so no obi be fa sika no on keep wo Ghana wo na ode be ko broni krom e de akọ akoto ho menua be ma menua ba se we anya slavery a ene school na wo ko ye na se ne sen ye de yen gold e ko ma broni se san numbers on the computer screen and obi anda nwen ho se ade yi paper no ye nya free dua mu inti dua na ye de mo no eno ana wo mo de print sika ne de bra yen obi ananwe ho My name is Bediako-Poku, Hitzfield, Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana. I need to leave you guys today. I hope we had a blast on Uncensored Friday. We are playing Leeds United. What they did to us at Old Trafford, Charlie. We nearly lost the game. We nearly lost the game. And Casemiro's importance to Manchester United can't be understated, right? When the guy was out, I said, Yewu. Fred was all over the place, man. He had a couple of chances. I love Fred. I love him for his energy, his hard-working attitude. But we need a holder, just like Casemiro. And Declan Rice in the summer will be something of a spectacular blah, blah, blah. Now, speaking of spectacular blah, 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 I would be glad if Qatar buys Manchester United. This is my opinion. Because we've seen what the Americans have done with businesses. The Glazer family is from America. And we've realized the Middle Easterners, when they come to your club, when they enter a business, they take it and make it spectacular. So that is what we want at Manchester United. We want the best of things. Cristiano Ronaldo said it. Old Trafford looks like a shit house right now with the facilities. And that is true. We've known this since. We should get 100,000 capacity stadium for Manchester United. We are the biggest club in the world for a reason, right? So if England is more open to the world, I think Old Trafford, 100,000 capacity will be filled to the brim every time. Because Manchester United have fans around the world. So many fans around the world. And most people want to come and watch Manchester United play. So the Qataris will do a fantastic job. I know. I'm sure of that. Because of the World Cup they hosted, you could see it. They are well prepared in so many things. And when you look at the QSI, who invested in PSG, look at what they've done with PSG. If Mbappe is playing for Manchester United right now, up front, we wouldn't have drawn against Leeds. Now, we love Valverde, but if Mbappe is there, Rashford is here, and let's say even Garnacho, we would have scored more goals. That is a fact. So we know what they can do. And we know Manchester United. At Manchester United, we produce our own revenue. So there won't be the need of cooking books and whatever like what Man City. The problem with Man City, it is one side of the story. Now, I hear people talking about human rights. I've been saying this. If you're in England, if you're in Europe, please never raise issues with human rights, because I can invite you to Ghana and I will show you things and the systems that have been imposed on us, and you will be perplexed that, is this what my country is doing to others around the world? So please, spare us with the human rights, blah, blah, blah. Every country has problems. But we need to be looking at the footballing side of it as Manchester United fans. As I said, we need to be looking at the things that unite us the most than the things that divide us. When Manchester United is playing, people of all religions across the world watch. People of all races across the world watch. And all these people have one thing in common, hoping that Manchester United can win. And those are the things we need. We need to be encouraging, not the things that are. Let us look forward to the future. Let us hope. Okay, Luciano Godwin. Okay, he says, say it's aloud, man. Making history in the making, right? Luciano Godwin. Share this video, let it get to a wider audience, and let us make history with this show. Let this show be a show where the Africans sat down, just like 1855, in the Berlin Conference, when King Leopold II sat down in the conference to divide Africa. This time around, we are not dividing Africa. We are uniting Africa on this day. And if things go as planned, share this video. Let it get to every black man. Let it get to every black man across the world. Duane Stephenson, August Town. So I started with the same track, and I want to end with the same track, Come on, man. Let me play. Let's go one more time. So see you same time next week on Uncensored Friday Live with Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana and Hitzfield. Much love, guys. A word to the right, don't try to make life on your own. Remember that Jah just by your side. For I was a soul who was lost, and my heart was in dismay. For among evil forces in which I played. Much love to every Rasta man across the world, in Jamaica, across the world, man. Shout out to every Rasta man. Shout out to Black Rasta, Black Rasta. Silence is golden. Silence is golden. Let age come with wisdom, please. And let's celebrate one another. Much love to Sarkodie for the feature with Bob Marley. Sarkodie, or then Crown Prince, and you'll be a Nebeka. Obi Obeka be a forget you be a Beka. Ayaho. Cause Father, you rescue me. I've got the scars to show. I nearly made it a long life road. Cause when my life got dark, he was the only spark. He was the light at the end of the road. I love music, man. And I'm going to change the music scene in Ghana, where people will be respected for their artwork. We ate from the same pot. We were engines all around. From Gola to Colorado. No. From Rockers to Jungle 12 Tire. Price Hill to Dread Action River, all around. Ginger and pineapple, man. And then the football ground became a battlefield, and my life seemed so surreal. Ooh. People were falling all around, but Jah helped me to stand my ground. Only Jah would have helped me to stand my ground. Though I never lived like he wanted, I was mindful of what he taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees. Cause Father, you rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. I nearly made it a long life road. Cause when my life got dark, he was the only spark, the light at the end of the road. Never lived to please him, and never lived like I should. Okay. Let me go. So, as I said, we've been looking for investors to invest in so many things. We are about to build a $500 million project from the world. And I'm glad with the feedback I'm getting. 500 million project out of the ashes of Bediako-Poku. I love it. I just can't wait to show everybody on Reunited Live what I've done and what a black man who thinks differently can do when he has power, when he has the resources to affect the lives of his people. See you same time next week on Uncensored Friday Live with the Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana, Nana Poku Hitzfield, Obonkumenkuma Bediako. Now my name is Obonkumenkuma Nana Bediako-Poku Hitzfield, the Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana. I love you all. This is an opportunity like no other. People don't even get to know they are speaking with the Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana. And I love it because sometimes it's just five people watching, but then I love it. I'm like, woo, at least. Romano se hizo in un día, siempre un paso a la vez. Siempre un paso a la vez. Tiempo a la vez. So a step at a time. Rome was not built in a day. It's always. You see how I'm sweating? I sweat a lot, man. Even in the AC, man. See you same time next week on Uncensored Friday Live. I'm leaving you guys with love, abundance, and prosperity. Chi-chi-cha. Bye-bye.